walking in here after winning than certainly than losing. And I thought our kids played really hard. We came off playing in some 4 pretty tough football games against some pretty good football teams. But we had enough resiliency to go up there on senior day and take the #1 rushing team in the country, and had to go up there and play really well, and we did. We lost Matt Brown in that game. We still came out and rushed for obviously all the records that we all know we rushed for. School record scoring points, school record rushing, Big East rushing, personal best rushing, and a lot of great things happened in the game. I thought our offensive line played really well, our tight ends, we blocked really well, we were physical, and we needed that kind of game. That kind of a little bit of a statement game was important for us. A game we should have the opportunity to win, and I thought we won it in the most impressive fashion that anybody's really played them all season long. So that's a positive. Now we get ready to go into Syracuse, and I just think Syracuse is an outstanding football team. And I see a lot of pro players on their team. The quarterback's a first, second round draft pick. The left tackle's a first or second round draft pick. The quarterback's probably the best quarterback in our league. The running backs are really strong downhill guys. Alec Lemon, the wide receiver, is a heck of a football player. Marcus Sales, the other wide receiver, is a heck of a football player. Up front, they got along with Justin Pugh, Rob Trudeau, and Mackie McPherson, and Zach Shemaine. I watch them on tape. They look outstanding. They're running the ball better as the season goes on. I think they're outstanding running the football. And obviously, we all know they can throw the football. So it's a pretty balanced football team. On defense, they got led by Shamarko Thomas, the safety. He's a strong hitter, run defender. And I remember the kid, Marquise Sproul, that I had been involved with in recruiting back in my other place. And he's a very active guy, runs to the ball. I think they're athletic. So the challenges are great for us here. It's a short week. We're scrambling just like they are. And you feel like you're a half a day behind before you ever get started, and you are. You just are. But we're excited to play this football game. It's a great challenge, and another step in our development as a football program to take this game on and to find a way to win it. And we're looking forward to it. And I'm glad we're doing that coming off of a nice win. Gives you a little bit of confidence and a little bit of a boost that a young football team really, really needs, because the sun shines a little better, the victory meal tasted a little bit better, and everything's a little nicer and sweeter after a win. And anybody that doesn't understand that, you just don't really get it, because I'll tell you what now, it's remarkable to see the mood change amongst our team, coaches, and the whole building coming off of that win. Much needed. And we had a pretty rough 4-game stretch right there, probably the real toughest part of our conference. And then we played it with no bye weeks, all back up, back to back to back to back to back. That was tough to do. Now we're banged up, we're tired. We haven't had a bye. We had 2 bye weeks early in the year. It helped us then. It's hurting us now. We haven't heard these coaches out there talking about, yeah, we just came off another bye week. I'm like, wow, we could use one of those now. But we're going to find a way to alter our practice schedule this week, and try to give our kids a chance to be as fresh as they can possibly be given the circumstances, so that we can go out there and battle and fight and play tough tempo football. Any questions?
You already mentioned the quarterback from Syracuse. What do you see on film of him that makes him so good?
Well, he's a lightning quick release. He throws. There's no bad balls thrown by this guy. This guy's the most accurate guy I've ever seen. He's a decision maker. He's smart. He's tough. He's a leader. He's got all the intangibles, and he's got a pro arm.
Steve, what changes for Juice? Obviously, the way you guys were running the ball Saturday, you really didn't need to throw it. Obviously, you're not going to be able to maybe run the ball that much this week. What changes for him this week, and what does he need to do to just execute the game plan?
Well, we're obviously going to have to throw the ball, and the thing is what you're trying to do is the issues you have are like Louisville had to get out of their game plan quick. They got behind. They had to start getting out of their game plan, throwing the ball. That's not really where we want to be. So you'd like to try to control the ball and play well enough on defense so you don't get yourself out of whack. But the reality is, we're going to have to throw the ball in this game. So we're spending a lot of time today and yesterday trucking the ball. I thought Juice did a great job in that first 3rd down play. He put that in there strong, and he's been throwing the ball well today. And we're going to have to throw play actions. We're going to have to do all of those things. We understand that. And if we get ourselves in a situation where we have to throw it, we're going to go throw it. We're going to go compete to win a football game. In a perfect world, we'd be able to kind of, I wouldn't say balance, but for us, you'd like to have a sprinkling in there of enough things to threaten it down the field, but yet given an opportunity, you'd like to kind of control the ball keep our defense off the field, you know, and shorten that game. I mean, that's what you'd like to do in a perfect world. How that plays out, who the heck knows? So we'll see how that goes.
How's Matt doing?
I mean, he's day to day.
I'd have to imagine with as fiery as he is, I have to imagine he's probably going to challenge every day of the week to say, I gotta, if this is indeed your last game, if there's ever a guy that wants to play in his last game, it's got to be Matt, right?
I would agree with that statement, you know, but we'll see. We'll see.
Steve, was it like, you know, I know your son's not playing.
Right.
But it's just kind of like, you know, odd going up against your son's team,
Yeah,
so
it's
to
odd.
speak.
It is. You know, but, you know, the amazing thing is that, you know, it was brought up today in the Big East conference call, and I just get so lost in what we're doing right now, you know, the preparation and everything, that we'll spend a lot of time thinking about it. It was something more comical to think about back in the summertime, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Laughing a little bit about it and having some fun about it. But right now, he's not playing right now. He's still, you know, rehabbing his deal, but he loves that. He loves his team, and he loves his teammates now. I mean, he got a lot of passion for that. So I just, you know, don't really talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of like I got a great deal of respect for that program as well, and for my son, and, you know, and obviously I can cheer for them for every other week, and it's just one of those deals right now. You know, my job is here, and I'm a vicious competitor, you know, so I really just don't focus on any of that crap.
Now, you guys have a close relationship. You know, you see him around the facility, you know, in the off season and whatnot. How are things going to change this week? Because I'm assuming it's one of these things that you find time on a normal week to make sure that you guys communicate over the phone, at least.
Yeah.
And how many times do you typically talk, and was it going to be like this?
Well, I love my son. I'm going to talk to him every single day. I'm just not going to talk about football. So,
okay.
You know, it's just, you know, I mean, and that's just the way it is, you know, and that's, you know, it'd be about appropriate. I can remember Greg Madison going through that with his son when we were at Florida. We were playing Iowa in the bowl game, and his son was playing for Iowa, and you know, it's just the way that is, you know, and you know, but you know, I can't not talk to my son. I mean, that's not going to happen. But it's just not going to discuss football, and it's such a short week, and things are going to be cracking so quick that you know, that's where it's at.
What about Thanksgiving dinner?
I'm going to be having it with my team.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, we have Thanksgiving with the team every year, so that's where that's at. You know, I have a nice dinner on Saturday with my family.
Okay.
You know, right now it's just all focused on how we're going to stop Syracuse and how we're going to run the ball and throw the ball against Syracuse, and where's our special teams and the impact that we can make. And you know, it's all about Friday at 11 o'clock. You know, I tell our kids this is. It's, you know, it's 4 days, man. 4 days. We got 4 days in our mind. 4 days. Last 50 yards of this race. Who can sprint it? Who can go as hard as they can possibly go? And my job to put them in a situation to get them as rested as I can under these circumstances, so that I can let them play as fast as they can.
Louis will be there Saturday.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner.
He'll be down here, obviously. And, you know.
So you guys can talk about the game then. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Saturday will be a different day. You know, it's hard to believe that. You know, you know, the season goes by so quick, so quick, and that's why we want to try to, you know, obviously to win this game to extend our season. We have a chance to extend our season, and that's the message to our kids, and we're going to fight like heck to do it.
Do you guys even just have like those funny like human moments as father or son say? It's kind of bizarre that we just can't, like, that's a gray area. We just can't talk about football this week. You guys even just kind of laugh or joke about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's not playing, which makes it easier. Had he been on that field, that'd make it very, very difficult, you know, because then you got the component of your evaluating, you know, your son on tape or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that would make it very difficult. So that's not going to happen, and that's a good thing. You know, that's just harder. And you know, so whatever. He's disappointed, you know. He's really missing playing right now, and disappointed that he's not. We've got a lot of family and a lot of people here, and that you know, that was something real important to him. But it's just the way it is.
Just talk about Montel's day on Saturday.
I mean, it was a great day. He and Matt. I mean, Matt opened the thing up with 2 touchdowns, and Montel came in, and it just he had to carry the load. It was one of those days where we felt like we needed to score every time we touched the ball, and we damn near did.
He basically played about 3 quarters, right? I mean, you break it down, he really didn't play a whole game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty remarkable day. I thought like I said, I watched our offensive line really maturing. We're getting better up front now. We're getting better. You know, we're no perfect deal right now, but we're getting better. I think we got a ways to go in pass protection still, but I think in the run game, to look at the future of our offensive line, I like really where we're headed. I like even some of the young guys that you don't see on the field right now. I think we're developing what's going to be an outstanding offensive line here in the future, which is really a good thing. You know, obviously our pass protection is going to take more work, but that always takes more work, and we don't get as much reps with it. That'll develop as well, and that'll make us better. That was part of the problem early with the young offensive line. You know, you got receivers dropping a ball, young guys. You got young offensive line getting beat on swim moves, and you just pile that all in a bag, and it takes a toll on your throw game. But in terms of the fundamental process of our O-line developing, you know, I told you, what some opposing coaches talked about with our offensive line. We felt we were one of the toughest, most physical offensive lines in the country. In the conference. And I thought we saw that Saturday. Very physical. We really were very physical. Because we had a good offensive line last year. We ran the ball better this year. And their defense this year was healthier than they were a year ago when we played them. So, there was a lot of positive that came out of the game, and I felt great about that. Because that was, I always look at the important pieces in the building process. That's how I view every week. And so that game was real important for all of those reasons. All of those reasons. And you can see it. It's tangible. You watched it, and that's good, because that'll help us as we march forward, So, but, a little bit like that still. It's going to, that's not going to go away. It's just that you're seeing pieces like that, the way we ran the ball against Louisville in the first half. You could see those pieces. And then I didn't feel like we ran the ball as well against Cincinnati, they made a lot of mistakes up front. I don't know why. And then we come back and we played fairly mistake-free on Saturday up front now. They had a lot of different things in there. So, I keep talking about this. Our offensive line's really heading that way. And then, of course, you saw Jamie Gilmore in there. He's explosive. And he's getting his little snippets of work that are going to really help him next year. I think he's going to be an outstanding running back. I really do. So, we're going to have the real, and then of course, you got Kenny in there, big strong back, and you got a bunch of backs. So that piece is good. And the receivers, I like where they're going to be. They're just not there yet. But where they're going to be, Roman Deloche's development and where he's going to be outstanding. Jalen Fitzpatrick going to be outstanding. Khalif Urban's going to be outstanding. Stan Benjamin's going to be outstanding. That's a really good group of young receivers. They're just, they're raw. They just got to, finish top ends of routes and preciseness of depth and just all that stuff. That just takes a little bit of time, and Cody Booth's got great hands. He's established himself as probably one of the better blocking tight ends in the conference, and he catches the ball well. So those pieces are going to come together. I was really pleased with Juice, too. I thought he did a good job running the ball. He was explosive running it. He made a couple of good throws, but he's like a redshirt freshman. You know what I mean? In terms of his experience, and there'll be some growing pains with him as well. This will be an interesting game. Be some different challenges this week. It won't just be like that, But I hope, I like the way I like his leadership and stuff. And Chris has been practicing really well. It's going to be a physical football game. Got to have everybody ready to roll, all hands on deck. These games have a tendency, you never know what's going to happen in games like this right now. So our plan is to play as hard as we can play, as physical as we can play.
Steve, there are reports out that Maryland is going to the Big Ten and that Rutgers will follow suit. Can you just talk about the changing landscape of the Big East Conference?
I heard that, and I just haven't thought about it. So that's one of those things I really have no thoughts on until, I have a chance to get through this game, which is you guys understand. I'm one of these guys that I think it's a good thing. I can compartmentalize things, and that's where I am right now. I'm kind of compartmentalized at what's at hand right now. I think as a coach you need to do that. There's so many different things that come at you. If you let yourself dart off in all these little different directions, you lose your focus. So there's nothing I can do or control about any of those things, and I don't get involved. Bill handles everything, and I trust all that. So for me, my job is to get ready for this Syracuse game, and then when that's over, then we see where we stand with we have a shot to get a bowl game, all these other good things that happen. And then, of course, I really, we'll be on the road recruiting on Sunday night. So, that whole cycle will begin. And so I can't worry about all that stuff and this ever-changing world of college football, man. So I know you guys got to stay up on all that, and I certainly understand all that. But right now, this is as big a task as we've had this season. Right now, playing this team. This team right now is as good as any team we've played to this point this year. That's just the facts. So.
Steve, how schematically do you approach playing a quarterback like him? Because there's no secret, your safeties have had their moments, your corners have had their moments where they've really struggled, and this is, as you said, as good a quarterback as you're going to face.
Yep.
How do you do it? I mean, how do you, anything?
I think you got to challenge the quarterback. You got to mix it up on him. You got to be able to play coverage. You got to be able to come after him. Keep him off the field if we can. I mean, you got challenges. I told our kids, man, we're just go play, man. Challenge the ball. Go challenge the ball. Don't be worried about. For me, I'm not gonna be worried about getting beat. I'd rather see guys going after that ball than anything else. So, you just prepare your team. We've got a lot. We're working on, we're throwing the ball a lot in practice. Last week we didn't throw the ball one time. Really. I mean, so you talk about bizarreness, right? So that's why yesterday we came out here. We had 7-on-7, chucking the ball around. Today it's a run day, but yet we've got third and medium. We've got 7-on-7 in there. We're chucking the ball. We needed to throw because we didn't throw it at all last week, and they need to play coverage. So, it'd be nice if it rained a little bit. Bring that weather on.
When Maurice Jones has gotten in there, I know he's been an occasional starter, like on and off. It looks like he's made some plays. Can you talk about what he's done at corner when he gets in there?
He's played some nickel and stuff like that. He made a few plays against Cincinnati. And I think Mo's working hard trying to get his niche here and help us in special teams wherever he can help us. Last game for Mo, so he's got to, wherever, we need all hands on deck. We're banged up. Everybody says they are, and they are. I know they are. People are. We're no different. The difference with us is when we're banged up, the depth isn't as deep. You get below the surface now, you're into freshmen. So, but that's a good thing. But the young guys are old.
You talked about the offensive line. I mean, what specifically with certain guys is standing out, whether it's Kyle Friend or Whittingham, right? What are you starting to see in terms of you see them growing and starting to dominate when they're pushing up front for the run? What are you seeing? Who's standing out?
Experience, explosiveness. Been working really hard. They've been working. Justin Fry. They've been working really hard. That's probably the hardest working group on his team. They're just it's kind of coming together. It still rolls a little bit now, but it's coming together. You can feel it. You can see it. And consistency is the issue more than anything else. I mean, we lost Sean Boyle. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, so we're playing without him. But I mean, they're kind of unflappable a little bit. They just kind of got a good work ethic. They're working really hard. I think they're getting a feel for each other. They're learning how to play O-line. It takes a while. It's not something you don't just piece together an offensive line. I mean, this is not. Last year, same thing now. Last year, beginning of the year to the end of the year is a huge difference. We got to the end of the year and into that bowl game, our offensive line was playing at a high level. That wasn't really the case early. If it was, I would have liked to have the O-line at the end of the year or the beginning of the year when we played Penn State 2 years ago. But we weren't really at that point, so that's where it is. But the good news is this O-line is coming back. We're going to lose Marty Walls, but we got some guys ready to roll. We won't start the year next year like we started the year this year with the O-line. That won't happen. That's a good thing.
Steve, as good as Nassib is it possible to over-prepare for Syracuse's pass because they've shown the ability to be, just as explosive out of the backfield at times?
Oh, no question. Especially in the last month. Yeah, that's the challenge. You got to make sure you're sound in the throw game. That means, it's harder to load the box, and then all of a sudden you're vulnerable in the run game. And their offensive line is really good. I think they got one of the better offensive lines. Done a great job with that offensive line. No one talks about it as much, but pretty damn good. So they're a balanced team right now. They're good. Talented, playing good football right now. I think they found their personality right now, Good run-pass blend right now for them. But, like anything else, man, you got that quarterback. That's what you need. That's what you have to have now. This is, he's only got a couple games left. This one and one more. So He's at the top of his game right now. He's senior, fifth-year senior, whatever it is, but he's at the top of his game, and he is at the top of his game. And I'm happy for him. He's a heck of a kid. All right, guys. Appreciate it.